Pound Cake, you want to take a crack at this? Who might this be?
The OJs?
No, not the O. Does it sound like black guys? This band is aggressively white.
I had no idea.
That's who you usually guess when I play Led Zeppelin.
Steely Dan?
Steely Dan is who you're thinking of. Yeah, anytime I play Led Zeppelin, he goes, Steely Dan? Yeah, why not? A couple of wild headlines that I thought it just encapsulated some interesting things, and there's really no subtext to them, and they just kind of jumped out at me. You know who Justine Bateman is?
Yeah.
For a long time, she was the famous one in the Bateman family because she was the sister/daughter on Family Ties. And Jason Bateman, they've both been acting since they were little kids, but she blew up on Family Ties. You know, you'd see him showing up on TV shows, but Jason Bateman really didn't blow up until Arrested Development. I mean, Teen Wolf 2, people knew about that.
Right, and what was the show that he was on in the 80s?
Silver Spoons, yeah.
Like, wasn't he on another...
It's Your Move. He had a one-season thing where he was the...
He had, like, more...
He was on Silver Spoons, but they let him go because his character was outshining Ricky Schroeder. So they replaced him with Alfonso Ribeiro, I think.
I love him so much.
Who?
Jason Bateman.
Bateman's the best.
Like, I truly, truly love him.
He's my spirit animal. But they spun him off into his own show called It's Your Move, which just didn't... It only lasted one season. But he was on the Hogan Family.
The Hogan
that's probably
Family,
what you're thinking of.
that's what I was thinking of.
And, you know, he'd show up on Little House on the Prairie. He was a working actor for a long time. He basically lost a decade as a young adult because he was doing coke and drinking, whatever. But the headline I saw, the headline of the article in Vanity Fair that jumped out at me, Justine Bateman explains her decision to age naturally. As if that's something you have to explain. Everybody else is getting Botox. She's not, but that's their headline.
There's a comedian named Beth Stelling that I don't know how familiar people are. She's fantastic.
Yeah.
Love her. So funny. But she has a bit right now that she talks about this, how, like, it's a movement in L.A. that women are, like, brave for saying, I'm going to age naturally.
Age naturally.
Like, that she's like...
Like, women in Ohio aren't even aging naturally. Like, the Botox clinics around here, you're going to line out the door because it's so cheap now and plentiful. The other headline I enjoyed was 33 swimmers accused of harassing Hawaiian dolphins. That's it. I just like that. You can get arrested in Hawaii
are fast.
you're not supposed to swim with them.
Oh.
It's against the law in Hawaii to
That's bullying by the dolphins. How come you're not accepting us, dolphins?
You're not swim with us.
You're not allowed.
Swim with us.
You're not allowed to swim within 50 yards of certain dolphins because
on Tuesdays we wear gray.
They're nocturnal animals. And people were, they weren't getting the rest that they needed during the day to be able to find food at night. There's a whole ecosystem that we as tourists are completely ignorant of.
And screwing up.
Yeah.
When we went on that whale watching tour in Hawaii, we were on this big, giant boat. Kind of like the same boat, the Nautica Queen. That's the one we go on the Corona Cruise, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like a big boat like that. 2 levels, sun deck, all that. And the captain of our boat was talking about the smaller boats, those real tiny ones that are like inflatable and zip around. He's like,
dinghies with a motor on them?
Kind of. He's like, but they'll pack like 15 people onto them because they go so fast, they'll get real close up to the whales. And he was like, these smaller boats cause so many problems because it's like freaks the whales out. He's like, the big boats don't move very fast, so they're not as startled by it, you know?
But there's money to be made in all that curiosity tourism. And but it is screwing up the various ecosystems.
Until I saw that video of that whale exploding, I didn't know. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm not even going to say I heard
didn't know that
before.
either.
I didn't know they
that whales exploded, yeah. They get a buildup of gas in there.
You guys never saw a Reno 911 movie?
No.
You're better off. It wasn't very good.
Well, that's where I learned about the whales exploding. I guess they used dynamite in that one, but
yeah.
I still knew that it happened.
Well, there's that great video of California in the 70s or something where that whale breached and they couldn't move it, so they exploded it. But the parts landed on everyone for like a 500-foot radius or something. So they're like
500 yards.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you're right. So they're like, the cleanup was way
Way
more
worse,
involved than just dragging the thing back out to sea would be. We're not long for the planet, so that's good. Mary sent me the girl's response to the wedding vows on TikTok. Michael and Destiny Lentini are the newly married couple who went viral for their husband's really gross vows. And people are saying, yeah, that's just a small portion of his vows.
I watched the whole thing, and it was like cute, disgusting, cute, like
right.
every other line.
Right. And hers were heartfelt and whatever, and I'll play you his
That's
again.
Michael, you know. That's how Michael is.
Well,
That's her explanation.
Yeah,
She's
pretty
like,
much.
Hey, and she's right. She's like, hey, if you don't get it, suck it, whatever. She's absolutely right.
I understand that.
I do too. But it's still like, man, there's a reason I got 18 million views on his vows.
Only 2 things are required to keep me happy. Keep my belly full and my balls empty. So you're amazing at half of it. We really need to get you some cooking lessons. Even when my belly isn't full, there is no one I could ever love more in this lifetime, unless I actually get a chance to meet Margot Robbie. Since the beginning, I was always told...
By the way, it's very unlikely that he would talk to Margot Robbie this way, right?
Yeah.
Familiarity breeds contempt. Isn't that what they say? They've been together over a decade. And she'll illustrate all that in her response because she's like, look, after 18 million views and people giving me a hard time, here's my response.
Life gets even better when the kids fall asleep and you tell me to come to the bedroom.
I mean, he's such a dynamic personality. I could see how she fell in love with him
Like
in the
a
first place.
magnet.
I'm kind of falling in love with him the more you play it. I mean, he's just so...
It's that animal
just
magnetism.
engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's better than the sound of
And his
gagging
mom is officiating, too, for people who are just jumping into this.
and headboard slamming.
Michael.
P.S. Since you're so good at making decisions like Mary and me, you can choose whether tonight's going to end with being a toaster, strudel, or a Twinkie.
Anyway, so that was hilarious to them, and she had her response. Destiny Lentini on TikTok.
So, if you've seen the vows on TikTok that have now gone viral, I'm that bride. So, with that being said, yes, I'm happy. Yes, I'm still married. Yes, I love my wedding. And there is nothing that I would have changed. I loved his vows. I loved my vows. I loved our wedding day. His vows showed a piece of his personality, which is the humor side, which is definitely Michael. My vows showed my side, a little bit of my personality, which is not outspoken like Michael. Very two opposites, and yet we go together so damn well. I have known him since 2010. This is how he was since then. We started dating in 2013. He was like this then. So I knew what I was getting myself into when we started dating and before we got married, considering we've been together 10 years now.
This is her saying, he has grown not an inch
Yeah.
in 10 years. He has not changed one bit
Some
in
people
10
want
years.
consistency, though.
Yeah.
I understand. No, I
I
understand.
was gonna say,
I understand. But both things can be true.
And with a world full of fakers, people wearing
And
a
this is
mask,
the- and
at
the-
least she knows what she's getting herself into.
And this is their wedding. If they're happy, that's all that matters.
I will say, she definitely looks like she's one hell of a lay. Just from me looking at
Says
her,
the gay man. What the hell does that mean?
she looks like she crazy in bed. She looks like
What
it.
part of her?
She just gives me that aura. I get
Because
the
she
chill.
has purple hair?
I know. I said her aura. It has
What
nothing to do with her.
aura? The glasses?
No,
The
just
oversized sweatshirt?
her vibe.
Her vibe.
She just go with the
I
flow.
you still haven't elucidated what her vibe is.
She just looks like she'll let you put it wherever. That's all.
Well, I assume that the toaster, strudel, or Twinkie comment was illustrative of that. All right, well.
I've seen people say we have a toxic relationship and that we aren't going to last and this and that. And honestly, you can say what you want. I know you're wrong because I actually know my relationship and I know myself and I know Michael. So I'm sorry if you're just not that happy with your life. My life is very eventful all the time. There's never a dull moment in my relationship.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause he's
sorry.
talking about gagging in front of your family and children.
I love that. There's never a dull moment. Yeah, but
That's
some
not a
people
selling point.
No, but some people they need a constant like roiling of their life. You know what I mean? That's what makes some things work. For some people, the worst thing they could ever possibly be is bored.
Yep.
Boredom is like this cardinal sin for a lot of people. They're like, I would rather have somebody tell me make the choice between a toaster strudel or a Twinkie than be bored.
Dude, and
that's fine.
I've had to do this in therapy where when I first moved in with Brian and life was like kind of easy and everything's chill and nothing's eventful.
You're
like I
waiting
was
for
saying.
everything to explode.
Right. And my therapist was like, you have to understand that comfortability and stability are not boring. Stability does not equal boring. He's like, you're so used to living in chaos,
But here's the thing.
you know?
Comfort is the enemy of creativity. And if
Right.
you are a creative person like we all are, in your brain you go, even if you don't want to or mean to, in your brain you go, well, I got to find a way to blow this up.
Or like something's got to go on.
Yes,
This
of
has to
course.
be-
I always wait for the piano to fall. Like that's whenever things are going good. I'm like, all right. So what is this evening out? Like something else is the other wheel's gonna fall off. Like,
But that's silly too because
it
people
comes
go,
from trauma.
well, no. Life in general, some good things happen, some bad things happen. It's when you're feeling pretty good and then something bad happens and you ascribe it to, well, there's karma or blah blah. That's just life in general.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's not indicative of any grand plan, you know, but some people they really need it weighted on one side or the other. Some people love things to be boring.
That's Brian's whole family.
I like boring.
So chill. Everything's got a place. Everything's set up for the rest of their lives.
See,
It's
that's how
like-
I am only
Yeah.
because I know, like, I need that control because I know left to my own devices, I will eat myself alive.
Oh, yeah.
I will devour my whole life.
There's-
So I have to have that kind of discipline in my life because I cannot exist any other way.
Well, there's always so much happening in my life anyway. So like I like to have the boring at home.
Yeah.
Like boring at home. There's gonna be chaos. There's always gonna be things happening. There's always
Yeah.
gonna be whether it's happening in my life or just happening in the world, I'll always find things that trigger me creatively. But I still need the balance of being able to relax and have
Yeah.
the other side
Finding
of
that
Yeah.
balance is what's so important. And
Mhm.
honestly, being so busy these last couple months when I'm at home, like how many times have I come in and you be like, hey, you want to come do this show? I'm like, I want to sit on my ass
Yeah.
and not talk to a single person,
No,
but just be next to Brian. I
and
want
I
to
and
sit
I totally
quietly
understand
by my
it
boyfriend.
too.
you
I
know?
always just extend the invite.
Yeah,
just so
no,
you
I know.
remember, but like, I completely get it, and that's one of the things that my girlfriend is like seeing. She's been through some stuff, and now she's getting more of that balance, and she's was just telling me last night. She's like, I like that you can carry your conversation, so I can just shut up sometimes. I'm like, I also love when you shut up. Put that in her vows.
Hey, put that in your vows. Is that
Honey,
gonna
I
be your-
love when you shut up.
Yeah.
That's Bill's new catchphrase. Put that in my vows.
It's a good.
If you don't
Not
have the same, and if you don't want the same, good for you. Go find someone who you think you deserve or deserves you. Michael is too good for me. I will say that I said that then, before or when I met him. I
All
say
right,
that now.
real quick, though.
I will say
And what does she mean by that?
That's
Too good for me.
and why would you? I mean, they always tell you should be with someone who you think is
Better than you?
better than you, but that, I don't really like that phrasing. But like, they're a good person.
Loves you more than you love them.
That-
or,
yeah, that like-
Love,
But to say someone is too good for you, I don't know. That
Yeah,
feels
but again, I
it's
think
so
that's just how she's-
self-degrading.
Yeah, but I
think
feel
that's how
I know
she's
that.
phrasing it, though.
I know what that means. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think that's
my
just,
wife's too good for me.
right, and you say that all
Well,
the time.
and I say all the time, what do I complain about? That Brian is responsible and has a good bank account and a nice
that's why
job.
you
And
take so much offense to it because it's true in your case.
Brian is way too good for me.
Why is he
That's why
with
it's
me?
triggering you so much.
Maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
that to the day I die because, like I said, you guys don't truly know him, so you don't understand why.
I
or
will say
where
that
I'm
until the
coming
day
from
I
when say
die, aka the day he kills me, puts me in an oil drum.
say that. I think that's pretty much it. Just the fact that the haters are gonna hate,
Yeah.
And the people who actually thought that they were hilarious, thank you. I'm glad you actually get us, because a lot of people do not. And it is what it is, I guess.
By the
She
way,
has some scary teeth.
haters are going to hate, aren't they?
It's what they do. Cat Williams said it best.
Can't
It's their whole
haters
job.
can't haters sometimes love?
No.
Is it beyond the capacity of a hater?
No, because that makes them a lover then.
Well, no, in that moment, perhaps.
Yeah.
But they're not
stop
defined
hating, then
solely
you're a
by
lover.
being
I feel like.
hateful.
But if the only way you know them is as a hater, then that's all they are. Which is kind of a hater move in and of itself. Haters beget more hate.
Alan, what if that lady at the funeral Bill was at just made all that up?
That'd be hilarious.
Oh my God.
That'd be amazing.
Be fantastic.
And like she didn't actually even know the guy.
No, she's a funeral crasher. She's like Alan, just showing up at funerals of people he doesn't know.
That's right.
Telling stories.
Hey, is the dead guy a guy that I might know
She doesn't even
because
go
he
here.
called my show?
I know, Rick.
She did also do like a little brag on herself because she was a pretty together lady. And she goes, he bought me candy once, and I go, do I look like I eat candy? she stepped out behind the podium and was like,
Nice.
do I look like I eat candy?
She had a
You
performance.
say either, I say,
yo,
you say neither, and I say
you know,
either, and either.
stop me here about
Let's call the whole thing off. Yes, you like potato, and I like,
wow.
you like tomato, and I like
What's wrong with you, Cavalier?
potato,
Can get right.
tomato.
Why?
Let's call the whole thing off.
Oh, Rick. God bless you, buddy. I don't even believe in God.
Rip Rick.
Gagging and headboard slamming. Maybe that guy's just really into grand mal seizures. I mean, that would be a kink. It would be hard to drill down on that, but she's outliving her husband. If she keeps cooking, she should load it up with sodium. Yeah, okay. I was reading about a woman who they determined that she killed her husband by poisoning his cookies.
That is an evil bitch. Why would she do that to the cookies?
That's a throwback, though. We haven't had that in a while. I feel like poisonings were like all the rage in the 80s
Yeah,
and
they
90s.
were, because as soon as women discovered like antifreeze or something like that, they were always
Put it in everything.
Yeah, an Australian woman found guilty of murdering her husband via poisoned cookies.
What
2020,
flavor cookie?
lemon. She laced his,
Love lemon cookie.
and everyone does. That's why you would never turn down a lemon cookie. She laced his lemon cookies with crushed up sleeping pills
How many sleeping pills?
over a course of time.
Oh,
She said he was abusive toward her, but she was found guilty. Neighbors also alleged there was violence in their house. Prosecutors said she fatally drugged her husband because she wanted out of the marriage, but she testified that she didn't think the sleeping pills would kill him, just calm him down. She thought he would just feel sleepy and go to bed, which he did, but he never woke up. So
How many
she
can't hit
cookies
her
did he
anymore.
eat?
She gave them to him every day? Every day after dinner?
I don't know. She
But,
found
like-
she found him with no pulse and panicked, and instead of trying to resuscitate him or calling for help,
She hit him
wrapped
with a
him in
hammer.
wrapped him in a blanket before taping it up with duct tape and shoving it in a freezer, which she later pulled into the neighbor's yard. The neighbor opened the lid and found the body within days of the husband's death.
Well, that doesn't help your case.
Yeah, that's not looking great.
Looks like somebody's luck just came up shortbread. Cookie crabs!
Man, we have not had a real, legit cookie crime in a long time. There it is, straight out of
That's-
Australia.
That one moves right to the top.
Yeah.
Can't get your fill of justice? Have some more. Cookie crimes.